hopefully to go see the truck. It's not finished yet. Sorry for the big delay in putting any more video up. So it's fall break for the kiddo back there, the little monkey. We're going to go up to Nashville and meet a friend up there and look around Nashville for a couple of days, and then we're going to ride up to Louisville, Kentucky and meet with Tracks Off Grid and hopefully see our truck. It's not quite ready yet. There's been a few delays here or there, but hopefully in about 3 weeks it'll be ready for us to come back and bring it home and do a little more work on it while he's building the box. Pretty much just waiting on the AC to be finished, the new tires put on, and the seats put in. And then it already has the highway gear, so we're going to ride that back here after it gets the tires and all on and do a lot of work on it and get a lot more video. So, but today and the next few days, we're just going to take an easy ride up and have some family time, do a little camping. So we'll probably post some of those things that we do, and also some video of the truck. So y'all have a good one. Be safe. Y'all ready to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
This morning, Lord, we're gonna lift each other up and stand as one. This morning, every child, every mother, we stand as one. Well, I know that wound's been heavy, child, and your hope's been trapped in ice. Oh, but we can bring our sparks together till the bonfires are burning bright. Oh, you know we have the power now to make a new day for us this night. You have my love inside you. Then you know, let's lift each other up and watch it grow. This morning, Lord, we gonna lift each other up and stand as one. Don't be shy. Give a lift, give a lift, give a lift, give a lift, don't be shy. This morning, Lord, we gonna lift each other up and stand as one. This morning, every child and every mother, we stand as one. You have my love inside you. Then you know, let's lift each other up and watch it grow. Watch it grow. Watch it grow. Watch it grow.
All right, guys, we're here at Tracks Off Grid with Steve. He's going to tell you a little bit about his operation, tell you what's got going on. It's a real live working shop, so you're going to hear a lot of noise, but hey, it's the real thing, and that's what we want. So he's going to kind of tell you about his setup here, what all he's got going on, what he has to offer in case you guys are interested. Again, he's the one that helped me find the truck. I know y'all have heard me talk about him. Can't brag enough on his work and just the ability to talk with him. A plain guy just like me, and I really enjoy it. So take it away. Tell me about your operation here.
So hey everyone, welcome to Tracks Off Grid. Pardon the look right now, we're kind of in the moving phase. We moved from our old 2,000 square foot shop to a 9,000 square foot shop because the company's grown so much over the last several years. So we're kind of still in that phase of getting everything put away. So we got stuff everywhere right now. I started the truck back in 2016 in my driveway. That's how I started this whole business. My wife and I were looking for a new RV, and we sat there and we went to different RV shops and we're looking around at them. And I didn't really like the quality that was going into them. It was just a lot of cardboard, plastic, particle board, things of that nature that I know were inferior products. And what really did it for me was when my wife and I were standing there and the lady went to pull out the outside kitchen on a brand new RV, and the whole thing fell in front of us. And I said, that's it, I'm done, I'm not doing it. So with taking that into mind, I was like, I can build myself an RV. I've had 35 years of construction background, so I was like, I know I can do this. Move things forward a couple of weeks. I start looking at different platforms. I'm thinking I want a real RV. I don't want a travel trailer. I wanted something I could drive and tow a vehicle behind it so we could have a little runaround vehicle. A friend of mine happened to have an LMTV, which is what Tracks Off Grid builds. LMTVs, FMTVs. There's two differences. The LMTVs is going to be your 4x4s and your lighter duty trucks in the military. The FMTV is going to be your 6x6. So the LMTV stands for Light Mobility Tactical Vehicle. The FMT stands for Family of Mobility Tactical Vehicles. So fast forward another 2 weeks, I found a truck. I didn't even tell my wife, just went ahead and bought it. I get a phone call from her a few days later and said, "Did you buy an Army truck?" That was one I had to explain. Anyway, with that being said, I started building it and I started recording everything in my driveway, kind of like what Shane's doing here with his truck. I did every single bit of the build. We have a YouTube channel too called Tracks Off Grid. Feel free to check it out. We haven't put any content on there in a long time, only because we're so busy and I just don't have the free time, but we're gonna try and get back into that eventually. So I started building the truck, and before I know it, I started getting people asking me questions. How'd you do this? How'd you do that? How do I get a hold of you? What can I do to get in on your schedule and have you build me a truck? And at that time, I wasn't even thinking about building trucks. I was just doing it for myself. Circumstances led for me having to retire from my other job, and I was trying to figure out, what do I do? And I thought, maybe I can turn this into a business. Maybe I can start building these for people. So all of a sudden, I had a person call me and said, "Hey, build me a truck." I said, "Okay, it's probably going to take between 8 and 9 months because I'm only by myself, and I had a few guys help me out part-time here and there." Well, let's speed things up now, 7 years later. And to date, we've done well over a couple dozen trucks now in various stages, where it's just we get the truck, or we build a box for somebody, or we build a complete build from start to finish. We buy them the truck, or we source the truck for them, they bring us their truck, we do the full build, we paint the truck, we do the frame, we do all the modifications, do all the accessories, we build the habitat to their interior design. And here we are now, back in, August of last year, I was like, I need a bigger place because we have so many orders coming in. So we moved into this new shop, and now we're at a facility where we can actually handle more volume of trucks going in and out and be able to open up the schedule a little bit. So this is it. We started out new building. We've got 3 trucks in here now. One actually just left, which you'll probably see in the video here, and it went to our other fabrication shop downtown, which does all of our heavy work and builds the actual structures of the trucks. It will actually build the habitat, the framework for the habitat. We'll do all the fun stuff here, the accessories, the roof racks, the bumpers, the winches, the lights, the internals of the habitat, the internals of the cab, making it more civilian-like instead of being so militaristic as they come from the shop. I'm sure Shane is going to go ahead and show you guys some videos of some of these trucks in raw form, especially his truck that we got for him from Midwest Military Equipment. Kudos to them. Joe and Tyler and his guys out there do a great job putting these trucks together, and they've referred a lot of clients to us. We have a really good working relationship right now, so we're really fortunate for that. But as you can see, this is kind of the start of the truck right here when we're building a habitat. Raw steel. It is proprietary to us how we put it together. So I'm not going to get into that, but we do a steel box. Our steel box is essentially a roll cage that you're in when you're out there in the elements. Sorry about the tongue tie there. So the reason I thought of that, my late father, who was a structural engineer, metallurgist, thermodynamics, he had all kinds of engineering degrees. He had about several different ones. He designed our box. And the first truck, Optimus, which is actually back at another one of our shops right now, getting some additional new work done to it. A client actually bought Optimus from me, so I'm out of a truck right now. I'm actually in the process of building my new truck, which is down at the heavy shop, getting some stuff done to it, and then it will be back here and we'll start to build on that. But anyway, to get back to what I was saying about the boxes, I wanted something that if you were laying inside of it, you were safe. You are a lot more protected than a regular RV. Regular RVs are made out of wood, plastics, cardboards, particle boards, things that if a tree was to come down or something big was to hit it, it's going to go through it. It's going to happen. You've probably seen it on the news or accidents, or maybe on the side of the highway. You've seen one, the whole roof's ripped open. It's just screwed and glued and put together with wood. So I wanted something a little bit stronger, actually a lot stronger. I know my family was safe inside. And that I wanted to make sure if any of my clients had bought one from me, they were safe too in their families. I want to be able to sleep well at night knowing that they have a chance. So when we built our first box, which was Optimus, and again, it's out on the road now. That truck's been on the road for several years now. No issues with it. It's been a great truck, and I'm glad it's moving on to a new family, and they're going to get their new memories with it. But when we first built the box, we put it down on the ground before we put it on the truck, and I put 39,000 pounds worth of weight on the roof and left it up there all day. We had a big piece of aluminum, a big aluminum block that the other company that we do a lot of work with was making a crib for a train carrier to hold these aluminum blocks before they went to the smelting plant. We put that on the roof, sat there all day. The only thing that happened, the metal deflected a little bit, as soon as we took it off, went right back into place. That told me something right then and there. The second test I actually had was a real world test. I went to Overland Expo back in 2017 with the truck. It was my first Overland I ever went to. I was actually asked to come out to it by the promoters of Overland because they wanted the DIY people out there. And on my way out there through West Virginia and the hills and all that stuff, it was about 11:30 at night. I left later in the afternoon from here in Kentucky, so I knew I was going to get there in the dark. I'm driving down the road, it's all by myself, there's nobody there, it's up on top of a mountain, and all of a sudden I hear a loud bang, and I mean it was so loud, the whole truck shook. I was like, I just destroyed my truck. I get out in the middle of the night, I got my flashlight, I'm looking around the truck, and I can't find anything wrong. I'm looking at the truck, the only thing I noticed, my top passenger marker light was broken. And I'm like, what the heck did I hit? And I had some scuffs and scrapes down the side of the truck. Well, as I'm walking around the back of the truck, I notice about 30 feet behind me in the distance, I could see a branch laying in the ground. And that branch was about 8 inches in diameter. I hit that tree branch hanging over the roadway at about 40 miles an hour. And all I did was broke my marker light. And I was like, holy moly, thank you, Dad. You know, thanks for building the box that I know you built and has your engineering into it. So a little kudos to my father. So again, very strong box, and that's what we want our clients to have. Once I got through Overland, I ended up getting 4 clients while I was at Overland, and I wasn't even advertising. I wasn't even trying to advertise. Just people walk up to me and ask me, where do I get one of these trucks? I told them I built it, and they started asking me to build it. So again, back to the fast forward now. Here we are, 2023. We built over a dozen of these trucks and boxes for people, or like I said, various stages of the trucks. We've even gone international now. We've got a truck in Denmark, we've got 2 trucks up in Canada, and we've got another truck getting ready to go down to Costa Rica, Argentina. So we've grown quite a bit. And again, we want to try and keep that same value that I had when I was building my truck. In fact, we're going to keep that same value to make sure that the truck I built for you, or whatever we do for you, is going to last you and your family through whatever you put it through and keep you safe. So let's take a walk through the shop and I'll kind of show you some of the stuff we do. Again, the steel here, this is kind of the beginning phase of the truck and the habitat. And then there's some other stuff that we have in there that, again, I'm not going to show because it's proprietary to us. But we start out with our framework. And then, like I said, there's other parts we'll add into that framework that, number 1, will give us the structural integrity we need. 2, that will give us the proper mounting that we need to the truck to make sure that the box stays on the truck, excuse me, again for a tongue twist. But then we'll go through that process, we'll put the floor pan in, and the truck will come back, which we'll show you later on in videos down the road from here now with Shane's build, that's gonna show you this big metal frame. And again, the way we put them together, it's been wonderful. We've had a good success rate with it. So again, that's how the trucks will start out, just in a raw form. And again, they show up, they're just plain old military trucks. They're 1085s, they're 1084s. That's 1085 there. Shane's truck's a 1085. This truck behind me is actually one of the biggest ones we've built to date so far. Shane's will be number 2. And actually mine's still in the process, so mine will be number 3. Mine will be the largest truck ever built on an FMTV platform in an Overlander setup that I know of. That's a 1086. My truck was actually a former missile truck. Never even went into service. A friend of mine called me and I get trucks from and said, hey, I found this. Are you interested? And I bought it. So that's where we are now. But we'll have that for you guys probably this coming late spring, early summer. And I'll work with Shane and send him some videos and snippets so you guys can have a kind of look into that. But then we will also document that on our YouTube channel, so we'll make sure we plug that with you guys. I'm sure Shane will too. And you guys can check out the build process on that as we move forward on it. So let's take a walk in the shop. I'll kind of show you some of the stuff that we've been doing. Again, pardon the noise. It is a working shop right now, and pardon the mess, but it's a shop, guys. It's not, you know, some Taj Mahal or something that you're going to be walking into and everything's perfect. So this truck here behind my mechanic's toolbox, you guys can meet Nick. He does all the mechanic work. He's a certified mechanic. He's a certified welder. He's a certified HVAC guy, and he also does electrical work. So he's a blessing to the company. This is what we call our Dallas truck. This is for a client who lives down in the Dallas area, just outside of Plano. We've been working on this one for a little bit of while. He's had a couple little issues. Now, I didn't buy the truck. He actually sourced the truck on his own. And as we got the truck finished up, and this is actually an Overlander. This is a 1079. This is the communications box that came on the trucks from the military. They're a little bit difficult to work with because it's an extruded aluminum, and that's Glenn, guys, just so you know. He does all of our carpentry and paint work. But anyway, it's a communications box, and the way the box is built, it's a composite type setup. It's got fiberglass aluminum and extruded aluminum in the walls. It's all sandwiched together with injected foam. A little bit difficult to work with them because you can't get in behind the walls when you're trying to do certain things. If you cut through it, it's kind of hard to make it structurally sound again. So it takes a little bit longer to work on these trucks than actually when we're starting from scratch. This gentleman here wanted to have our racks put on it. We build these custom racks in-house. We do some custom bumper work. We do our ladders one side. It's not on right now because we're still doing some work on this truck. He has some electrical issues and some hydraulic issues we're fixing for him. And then the inside, we went ahead and we added solar, a mini split. We're actually doing mini splits on trucks now. The rooftop ACs draw too much power, so we try and stick with the mini splits. We can actually now run a mini split off of solar alone. We worked it out and engineered it so the power draw off the mini split can be taken care of by the panels if you have the optimal sun saturation on them, or you got your backup batteries. But still, you'll never run out of heat or AC for the most part, as long as you're smart about your power distribution. A lot of people will run into that. I made a mistake in my first truck. I ran out of all my batteries on my way out to Overland, and it took me about a day between the generator and plugging into another person's truck to replenish my batteries, and I was fine. But anyways, we put a mini split on this, off-road lights, winch, our custom roof rack. We did all the solar on the inside. I'm a certified Red Arc dealer now. Love Red Arc, great stuff, good quality product. I know there's a lot of different companies out there that people like to use, but what we liked, and we've tried them all, we've been through all the different companies. What we liked about the Red Arc was the simplicity of it. It's very easy to work with. It's not, you gotta buy this component for that component, for that component, for that component to make the whole thing work. It's 4 simple components, and that's it. Put the whole thing together, and you can run everything off that truck. It also has a built-in transfer switch into the charge controller, which is nice because now when we hook up our shore power, we can not have to run a separate transfer switch. We can go right through the Red Arc system into the truck from shore power and vice versa. So it's a really nice setup, and again, we're really happy. The Australians have done a really good job on overlanding and perfecting all the different utilities and mechanicals that you need when you go overlanding. They've been doing it a lot longer than us guys, a whole lot longer. So a lot of their product is really been tested and proven. So I'm happy we have Red Arc on board now. We're also an ATOM battery power distributor. They're a battery out of Australia as well. And again, there's all different companies out there. There's ones all over this country. We've tried a lot of them. I like the ATOMs again. Good quality product. You can feel it just in the battery itself when you're holding it. And some of the technologies that got built into those batteries. So we'll move on a little bit. We'll kind of get into some of the areas here. So right now we've got some things apart on the truck. We had electrical issues, so we're fixing that. But up in here on the 1079, normally what's up inside this boot up here would be like a circulation fan, a generator, regular AC system, but the AC system that the military will be using would be powered off of another outside generator, like 240 volt or something crazy, 3-phase. We took the generator that was up there, which we actually have still. It's a big diesel generator. I think probably weighs 300 pounds plus, out of there and put the mini split up inside here. In this boot right here, we took all the outside panels off. We put all the solar system in there. The red arc system, complete red arc system's up inside that, just above the snorkel. And then on the opposite side, opposing from it, is all the batteries that is running this truck. He's got 4 100 amp hour batteries. I'm sorry, 6 100 amp hour batteries. So he's got 600 amp hours of backup power stored on this truck, on top of 1200 watts of solar up on the roof. So he's replenishing his batteries with no problem in a timely manner. We like to do everything on 12 volt. We stay away from the 24 volt, 36, 48, and there's 2 reasons for it. One, it's just a lot more harder to work with. A lot of people will say it's not. I think it is, and the reason is because if, for instance, you have these 4 batteries and they're at 24 volt, let's say one of the batteries goes out, you just lost that whole bank of those 2 batteries. So we like to do things on 12 volts. So if in the event something was to go wrong on the truck, one of the batteries goes out, you still only lost that one battery.